What's up, gamers? Aaron Shack here, and we are going to check out some Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. The developers have dropped a new Suicide Squad Insider trailer here. And we're going to give it our usual deep dive and analysis treatment. So, welcome to another breakdown. This one is titled Meet the Support Squad. So very excited to see what Rocksteady's been working on in terms of this reveal here that they have. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Welcome everyone. What's up, Iceman, J-Star? How you guys doing? Let's get into this. Ooh. Okay.
All the fun is right here.
Hello, I'm Axel Ridby, game director here at Rocksteady Studios.
Right. I'm Darius Sadigian, studio director at Rocksteady Studios.
We're so excited to welcome you all to episode 2 of our ongoing series, Suicide Squad Insider. In our last episode, we gave you a look at our combat system that combines story, powerful traversal abilities, iconic melee attacks, and explosive gunplay to offer something truly unique.
Hello, beautiful.
Dude, the way you chain that.
To offer something truly unique. Versatile abilities, iconic melee attacks, and explosive gunplay
the Boomerang
to offer something truly
right
unique.
there.
Iconic melee attacks, and explosive gunplay to offer something truly unique.
Hello, beautiful.
We wanted to challenge ourselves. We wanted to expand and really push ourselves in terms of making something new and fresh.
Light him up.
When first introduced, the free-flow combat of Batman Arkham Asylum broke new ground and set a standard that is still popular today. In that spirit, the Rocksteady team decided to delve into new mechanics.
If you're playing solo, you have the power to make combat in our game unique to you while making your way through our story campaign. If you decide to play co-op with friends, you can each become an expert with your playstyle and customize builds, creating a powerful squad unlike any other.
Each person can offer a different benefit to the play experience.
We're super excited to seeing those sort of team
Okay, let's go back.
builds, creating a powerful squad unlike any other.
Each person can offer a different benefit.
I hate when this happens, like
squad unlike you can each become an expert with your playstyle and customize
you
builds,
got
creating a
auto
powerful squad
flip-load shotgun,
unlike
and once again kind of showcasing like how weapons are going to change or be.
you can each become an expert with your playstyle and customize builds, creating a powerful
like how they're going to change weapons. I mean, think about Destiny, how there's like different classes of weapons, there's exotic versions and stuff like that. For this game, we're going to see like this weapon here sort of change because they have different weapon manufacturers, there's different modifications, all sorts of things. And so it's really cool to like see right here. We see relatively the same chain gun, but it's you know, different variations on it, so it's really cool. Yeah.
any other.
Each person can offer a different benefit.
Also, this looks like this is an interesting location. I don't think we've seen this yet. I don't know if this is like in someone's office at the Daily Planet or something, or a lab, or I don't know. There's definitely a lot of boxes there, so that could be a
play
thing.
experience.
We're super excited to seeing those sort of team play synergistic effects happen.
You want to
Your
high five?
takedowns.
Bye.
In the Suicide Squad, the world, the narrative, all our features evolve through the lens of DC lore.
Fans for the DC Universe are going to be really excited for this. Not only are we bringing characters back that we've used in the Arkham series, but we're introducing new ones
You can call me Colonel.
that we've used in the Arkham series, but we're introducing
Ooh, there we go. Okay, so Lex Luthor right there, I think.
new ones.
You can call me Colonel Rick Flag.
We want players to feel like they explored the DC universe with us, not just through the story, but also through the mechanics.
Ah, no lasso? You gotta be kidding me.
In this episode, we'll meet some of the iconic DC characters who will be helping our anti-heroes to take on their impossible mission.
Awesome.
Through conversations with our team, our voice cast, and our playtesters, along with extended gameplay, we'll give you a preview of some of the amazing new possibilities we're excited about with Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League.
I dig it.
Wait, which superheroes did you say you were again?
This is Suicide Squad Insider, Episode 2.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
The RPG systems are the connective tissue inside of the game. Things like weapon customization, talent.
I called it. I could see this happening with the weapons. So yeah, we're going to see like Amertech here making this particular type of sniper rifle, but there's going to be like different variations on it based on, you know, the stats, the damage, whatever it is, perks, skills, you know.
Customization.
Oh, there's your skill trees, King Shark, firepower, strength and dominance, powers of the ancients. Interesting.
Things that really let players get into how they want their character to play.
Now, let's begin.
We built this game with near limitless strategic and personal options.
Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Okay.
We built this.
Hang on, let me, I want to examine these, like, skips too far ahead if I do the arrow.
With near limitless strategic and personal options.
Okay, here we are. So we got an SMG that Harley's using here, relatively small clip, short barrel, and then boom, just immediately adds like a better sight, better stock, massive magazine here, and then, you know, barrel extensions and stuff like that. What's up, Kai? This is really dope. I'm digging what they're showing here. These various insider, you know, developer diary type videos have been really good. And then here's another one with sort of an extended mag rather than, you know, a drum or any other types. Different optic, which, you know, could impact gameplay a certain way. Stock is definitely a little different. I don't know. You can definitely see that there's a lot of customization happening with the weapons that
Players craft
makes certain weapons unique. Yeah. Well, Batman is in the game. I don't know that you'll be playing as Batman. It's definitely a Suicide Squad game. So if anything, we're probably going to be playing as rather notable villains. We know that there's 4 announced in the game so far, but we'll see how that pans out.
their own character within a character.
Look at that slide.
Everyone can pick not only their favorite, but really make a character that's their own.
There's really high skill ceiling mechanics in this game where as you learn to traverse, as you learn to combine your character's abilities more and more, you become better, your character becomes
that
stronger.
sniper.
And
go back. Look at how
skill ceiling mechanics in this
there's
game
almost
where
a
as you learn to
strafe.
traverse,
There's almost a strafe here that's happening with Deadshot's jetpack here. I'm not sure this is something we've seen here.
as you learn to traverse, as
He goes
you learn
up,
to
but
combine your
then
character's
sort of
abilities
off
more
to
and
the
more,
side.
you become better.
And then, of course,
your
you know,
character becomes
allows him to
stronger,
hover
and
while
the
he's
story of
shooting.
the game, you're taking on stronger and stronger threats.
Yeah, and you got your
We
dodges
have
too,
this
so you
perspective
can
of
spin,
always
you
tying
can barrel
back to the
roll, all
narrative
that.
and always giving context around the mechanics. With the DC world out there, it just gave us unlimited potential.
With the Arkham games, you could modify some elements of Batman himself. We knew early on, going with an action shooter was an opportunity to go down a new path and try out new mechanics with a new type of game.
Someone's been busy. How'd you have time to make all this?
In our last episode, we showed the Suicide Squad recruiting the Penguin for Argus.
Okay, Waller. We bagged
Wave
Penguin.
fell.
He goes back to the Hall of Justice to start helping the squad out.
I'm taking authority.
Since we last showed you the Justice League's HQ, it's had a makeover from Amanda Waller and her team, and it's now the forward operating base for Argus's fight against Brainiac.
So when considering gameplay, we knew we needed an arms dealer.
You need a good gun runner.
For us, it's been great to bring Penguin back from
Okay,
the
so
Arkham
once
days.
again,
We
getting
not-
into
A good.
the central theme here that seems to be happening in this video is that they're showing a lot of stuff relating to weapons, customization, all this stuff, and showing you, you know, different variants of the same weapon, right? So you got weapon crafting and overhauling. So I guess we'll see what that is, but I mean, it's based on other gun games that we play on the channel, especially Destiny 2, but Division would be another one that sort of allows you to, you know, either craft a weapon or look for like a certain role of specific statistics and perks, or, you know, if you want your weapon to have a silencer on it, or, you know, whatever it may be. But I mean, obviously in this game, you're looking for weapons that have different elements, you know, maybe different scopes, maybe different fire rates, you know, stuff like that. So we'll see that.
Gun runner.
For us, it's been great to bring Penguin back from the Arkham days. We love working with this character.
What he gives you is lots of options for upgrading individual
This
weapons.
makes sense to have
crafting.
merchants like this that will allow us to trick out our guns. Because, I mean, really, if they are sort of making like a live service looter here, I don't know why this thing's going a lot slower.
What he gives
in terms of skipping ahead by, you know, a certain number of frames.
Is lots of options for upgrading individual.
Yeah, just looking at this weapon here and then seeing it transform. So, I mean, there's definitely some sort of, you know, technology or mutations being used here.
Crafting.
Pretty cool.
It feels like you're actually interacting with Penguin when you're crafting these items. And that's really where Penguin as a character comes to life in the game.
You get to build them up, creating some really unique combinations, and you can play with the game.
Dude. Yeah, I like that. So we added the drum mag, you know, you got like the stock, you got the grip. Yeah, these are some ridiculous toolkits. So right there, you've got kind of a basic sight. But then that gun just gets...
Combinations.
Boom! Doubles. That's pretty cool.
You can play the game in a way that's unique to you.
A lot of shotguns being utilized by
weapons based
Captain
on different
Boomerang.
manufacturers.
Star Labs, we have Amortech, we have LexCorp, we have DCPD, and they all come with different flavors.
Lex is a very scientific man, right? The guns are very scientific in nature. They have very specific recoil patterns and spread patterns, almost like they are calculated.
I'm excited
we have
for
Amortech, which is more
Lex.
improvised weaponry, really fast fire rates, high ammo capacity, but it kicks like a donkey.
And once you've unlocked those manufacturers, you can go to Penguin and ask him to sort of craft specific weapons in those manufacturers.
Different guns will play with different styles. Maybe you've got a Deadshot focused on critical hits, on headshots. That might mean that you want to favor a legendary gun which works with that playstyle.
Nice,
Legendary sniper. Okay, wait. We gotta go back.
Focused on critical hits, on headshots. That might mean that you want to favor a legendary gun which works with that playstyle.
Nice.
Okay, so we have one version of this sniper here. And then boom, all of a sudden, thicker barrel, bigger sight, massive clip, and then once again it's done. It just gets bigger and bigger. Like, what kind of bullet is this thing shooting? And look at how long that scope is. That is crazy. I love this. This is really good.
Nice.
Penguin is only one member
like a
of what
truck.
we call the support squad.
Toot toot, scumbags!
There are various supervillains that the squad have begged, stolen, or borrowed from.
For players who just want to play through the story, they'll get the full arsenal to be able to take on the Justice League. But for players who really want to sort of maximize their characters, the support squad missions unlock really cool features.
Our designers have put a lot of effort into making sure that when you play the game, you can have a very different experience from someone else.
Let's meet the rest of the support
That's
squad.
good.
Here we can see the scientist Gizmo, who has set up shop in the basement of the Hall of Justice.
You're perfect.
We know.
His primary contribution to the squad is the sort of airdropped vehicles that you can use for combat.
What?
You're getting into this flying vehicle with rockets and a turret.
Airdrop
You can blow shit up. And the havoc you can create is outstanding.
Each character from the DC
Wasn't
universe
expecting
offers the
vehicles.
player a different way of interacting with the game.
At all.
I've been trying on the name Toy Man.
More like Annoy Man. Am I right?
Toy Man.
Toyman is one character that helps you actually figure out ways of defeating the Justice League.
He's a tech boy genius who wants nothing more than to help save Metropolis. He can't quite come to terms with the fact that his heroes are now the villains.
Changing stuff is my
Let's go back.
Terms with the fact that his heroes are now the villains.
Okay, so it looks like he's got a couple of things here. Firearms, melee weapons, shield mods, traversal mods, and grenades. Choose from your melee weapons to re-roll their augments for a chance at better stats. I like this. This is... Yeah, I wasn't really expecting merchants. I know that we would probably like play missions and get gear and be rewarded with gear for completing missions, and just, you know, random stuff would drop. And, you know, you would just like hope for the best, but like they really are sort of taking pages out of the book of a lot of other live service games like Destiny and stuff like that. So blade, bludgeon, wrist cannons, boomer. Okay, so yeah, everything very specific to the 4 characters. Reroll their augments.
Changing stuff is my middle name.
Hey,
You can unlock more and more things you can do with Toyman to enhance your gear.
If you want to really perfect your gear to really suit how you like to play the game, Toyman's the character to talk to.
I'm Hack.
Hack is this sort of electronic astral projection.
Anything that has electricity, Hack can manifest through.
By working with Hack and increasing your talent points over the course of the game, you can unlock a whole myriad of different abilities.
For example, with Harley, you can increase her grenade damage.
Thank you!
Alongside the talent tree, we have what we call the combat combo system. As you're doing these more intricate moves, you build up your combo faster, and the higher that combo is, the more talents you activate.
Oh, this tough love!
Hack also uses her abilities to literally hack Brainiac's comms, so you get to listen in on what the Justice League is talking about, and you also get to hear their sort of corrupted personalities and how different they are from the heroes you once knew.
We have complete control, Brainiac.
Now let's talk about one more member of our support squad. Another infamous DC villain that Director Waller once recruited.
Spoilers?
At this point in the game, the squad has discovered evidence that Poison Ivy may be alive.
Ivy?
Whoa.
Poison Ivy? Dead Poison Ivy after Scarecrow gave Gotham a crop dusting.
For fans who pay close attention to Arkham Knight, they will remember that when Poison Ivy died, she left behind a little sprout.
I
She
got
did.
a real strong hunch she ain't pushing up daisies no more.
And in this game, you discover that that sproutling has been cared for by some people who may have had their own motivations for doing so. But in the chaos of Metropolis, she's escaped.
Find her. Bring her to me for questioning.
Using special technology they've acquired, the Suicide Squad is tracking Ivy down.
If Ivy's in the city, this tracker will lead you to her.
Let's see
I wasn't expecting this amount of follow-up here.
You better put me in charge and let me talk to Ives first.
So in playing solo, players can switch between any of the characters. You'll get to experience all the different play styles across all of the different missions.
I like that.
So here she is.
Hey, what's up,
Thought she'd
Angry
be
Moose?
taller.
Are you serious right now? Poison Ivy is a redhead. This is a plant.
This is a plant.
You might be the dumbest.
Uh-oh. She's back.
There's my girl.
She is not made of meat. Is this what you call a vegetarian option?
I don't know you, but my pheromones remember you.
Wow.
Strange emotions.
Tell me about it. Wasn't expecting you to come in fun size. You really don't know me? Harley and Ivy forever? In 10-story burning letters?
That's a bummer.
Nope.
And that would have been a little
Jeez.
cooler if it was
Lex
actually Ivy.
LexCorp really did a number on you, huh, Red? He dressed you up in that outfit, too? No. I took it. When I broke out. He shut me in a room in his tower. If I worked on the things he wanted, I got a whole hour of sunlight every day.
What did he want?
Weapons, making them more effective against the alien invaders.
Weapons.
You know, they're very susceptible to plant toxins. And, I know all about plant toxins.
We know. That's why they call you Poison Ivy.
It's just Ivy, weirdo.
Where's Lex now?
I don't know. Something spooked him, I guess. He got in his big robot suit and stomped off. Ooh, I know that look. Who you murdering? The corrupted things that are coming. All of them. They're poisoning the Earth with their gross bodies. So I lured them here.
The wrath of nature. I like it.
Oh, this is my friend Daphne. We'll make all the aliens choke to death on spores. You make sure Daphne doesn't die, or you're next.
Whoa!
Waller, be advised Lex is AWOL in a power suit, and Ivy's an eco-terrorist middle schooler. Deadshot out.
How'd we end up hugging a giant plant? I have allergies. Anyone care? Ah!
Here's a brief look at the mission that follows your first encounter with Ivy. You'll see a variety of custom builds and loadouts that draw on the power of DC villains.
Ivy's plans need protection. Split up your squad to attack from different directions.
Our asses won't get kicked just standing here.
Okay.
Now go defend!
Combat in this game revolves around 3 core pillars: traversal, gunplay, and melee.
Oh, I like that. There was a bit of a jump at the end of
traversal, gunplay, and melee.
Get back into
someone like Deadshot can take a vantage point.
Gliding.
Can provide cover fire.
Right.
You can find wild ways to upgrade your melee attacks. With the Great Suspender,
whoa,
a single boomerang can launch several enemies off the ground.
Okay, that would be good. That would be good for the team. Making it easy for Deadshot to come in through the air.
Harley's gun is from the Bane's Rage set.
Fun it up.
Landing a critical hit spawns a power-up that can infuse other weapons like grenades with Bane's Rage, making them more powerful.
Get the invaders off Daphne!
Okay, that's actually cool.
Those aliens pollute everything!
King Shark's loadout here includes Black Mask's Bulletstorm and the Heatwave's Molten Shield to synergize. He has triggered the Bulletstorm effect, which means that he's now immune from damage thanks to the Heatwave's Molten Shield, making this a perfect opportunity to get in close.
So they're definitely pulling these homages to like all sorts of DC villains and other characters and utilizing their technology. So Heatwave's
Molten Shield.
Heatwave's Flame Gun.
Black Mask's Bulletstorm and the Heatwave's Molten Shield to synergize.
Bulletstorm.
He has triggered the Bulletstorm effect, which means that he's now immune from damage thanks to the Heatwave's Molten Shield, making this a perfect opportunity to get in close.
Okay, okay, making you the tank of the team.
This mission is where we introduce afflictions, elemental attacks from Ivy's plants that draw on the powers of different DC villains. Use an affliction to freeze your enemies before you deliver an explosive finale.
That's cool.
Task Force X, report. Have you secured Ivy?
He sneezed all over him.
Yeah, kind of a funny story.
Although she doesn't remember her old life, Ivy is still a deadly expert with toxins, and she can offer your builds an interesting new feature: afflictions.
The results are so neat.
When you manage to recruit her, she comes back to the Hall of Justice as kind of like a loose cannon, precocious toddler who also has terrifying genetic engineering powers.
Then we introduce the concept of afflictions. Players can apply these afflictions to their melee weapons, their grenades, so they can mix and match different things for the encounter.
Oh.
And each affliction ties back to a DC character.
So we have 4 afflictions. Diablo Blaze sets people on fire, burns them over time. But you can't shield harvest them. We have Deep Freeze, freezes people.
Okay, hang on. So they said you can burn them over time, but you can't shield harvest them. So that basically, shield harvesting would be like the way to get our health points back. So you can deal lots of damage by burning them over
Fire burns them
time.
over time. But you can't shield harvest them. We have Deep Freeze.
In terms of getting your health back.
Freezes people. You can shatter them with your guns, but they are pretty resistant to melee damage. They won't drop ammo when they die.
At any point, you could have up to 2 different elemental afflictions, then add in the 3 other players. So what you've got there is lots of different ways to engage with enemies.
Your fight is far from over.
So at Rocksteady, what we sort of pride ourselves on is investigating how players play. Do they get the language that we're trying to create? We had an amazing opportunity to get a group of proper gamers from the community involved in the development process pretty early.
Some of the characters, the mission types during the story, I'd definitely say this has got a Rocksteady stamp on it.
The experience of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is really fluid, really smooth, and it feels really polished. It's chaos, but in a good way.
It's very fast and very momentum-based. And I think there's a lot of verticality to
What?
it.
We gotta go
it's
back.
Very
No, we gotta go back.
It's chaos, but in a good way.
Deadshot doing the airwalk.
It's very fast and very momentum-based.
I
and
love
I think there's a
it.
lot of verticality to it.
No other game that makes you feel so free and powerful.
Yes!
You also have
That's all a
this
good sign.
deep building of your character with a more superhero twist. For example, I kind of gravitated towards Deadshot because I'm a big fan of shooting guns and big crit builds. You can use the juggling mechanic to get 100% crit chance, and then from there, do big damage.
The knowledge that we gained, seeing players explore the mechanics, it gave us like a little taste of what it's going to be like when we got like a bigger community to share the game with.
Now listen.
Right.
How about a team up?
With the studio made the Arkham series, we were very much focused on single character, single perspective. And with this game, we saw that opportunity to get the community more involved.
For us, it was about expanding and enhancing into something new and different. And we wanted this experience to be shared with more than just one person.
One of the coolest experiences in the game is when you're playing with friends and each character can tackle the problems that you're facing together differently.
Agreed.
You are learning how to overcome challenges together.
All these characters are geared up to be able to complement each other.
Because each of them is moving differently, sometimes another character might come in from a direction you don't expect. You can create unintentional cinematic moments with your friends.
That's so cool.
When you really are in sync with your squad, it's such a special feeling, and I think something I haven't experienced in any other game.
Multiplayer is new for the studio, but it's super exciting because we get to see Rocksteady hallmarks of a story-driven game, but from multiple perspectives. And getting to share that with your friends is pretty
Tough
neat.
order.
We hope you enjoyed episode 2 of Suicide Squad Insider.
Phew, I need a smoke.
I need more therapy.
In our next episode, we'll take a look at what you can expect from our game after launch.
This is the biggest
Next episode, we'll take a look at what you can expect from our game after launch.
Dude, look at that Deadshot. Man, that looks clean. I like that. I'm not sure about that one.
This is the biggest cinematic experience that Rocksteady has ever created, with more hours of cinematic cutscenes than ever before. But I think we leave the setting of our story open enough that for post-launch content, players will be excited to come back and find out what we're going to do next.
Very
wanna
interested
talk
in
about
that.
it?
Know what, Quinn? I do.
I don't think players are ready for
Wait, that was her classic outfit.
Talk about it?
Know what, Quinn? I do.
Dude, look at that. A classic Harley Quinn outfit. Not the bow while they explode. Okay, we'll go back and watch it.
Want to talk about it?
Know what, Quinn?
That's crazy.
I do.
I don't think players are ready for the new playable characters they're going to get, or even the places they're going to get to take them.
This game is much bigger than the
world. New playable characters they're going to get, or even the
places. Interesting. We're definitely seeing the Daily Planet here, though.
Places they're going to get to take them.
This game is much bigger than the world of the Suicide Squad. Rocksteady will continue to build on the story.
We're delivering you a full game, but for those that want to go further, we're going to have lots of new updates that are free to our players, and we really want to engage with our community.
Wait, was he wearing Aquaman's pants?
We're going to have lots of new updates that are free to...
Yeah, those kind of look like Aquaman pants. Oh my gosh. No way. So there must be a lot of silly costumes here.
Bigger than the world of the Suicide Squad. Rocksteady will continue to build on the story.
We're delivering you a full game, but...
And there's Rick Flag, so I'm wondering if Rick Flag might also be
for those that want to go further, we're going to have lots of new updates that are free to our players, and we really want to engage with our community with the new experiences regularly.
At the end of the game, everyone goes, wow, this was a hell of a ride.
Oh, Superman.
At the end of the game, everyone goes, wow, this was a hell of a ride.
I love that look. I just wish we could be him.
Let's play again.
Yeah, February 2nd, huh? You got the classic outfits there, which looks good. Okay, I mean, I think they nailed it here. I'm very interested in seeing how the weapon customization works and whether it's compelling enough. We've had a lot of games go into this same vein here. We've got Destiny 2, we've got The Division 2, you've got Warframe, you've got this, you've got Avengers. All of these games will utilize various weapon perks and statistics and stuff. And even Gotham Knights, right? And sometimes they're done well in a way that I believe games like Destiny have an incredible weapon economy with a large choice of weapons, with certain elemental abilities and, you know, unique perks that make them actually feel like, oh wow, this is a powerful weapon to add to my kit. And then we've had other games where it's like, you know, the perks will be like 2% damage bonus or 1% chance to burn, or like, you know, just things that are barely statistically noticeable when you're actually in the game. And so it really doesn't matter what you're using. It just comes up as like, you know, maybe visual flair or something, but it just ends up being like worthless if your weapon tuning isn't done precisely. So I'm hoping this game has it done precisely and to where the weapons feel powerful, you know, when you're making these big adjustments, especially if you're using like a legendary weapon, you know, it needs to feel powerful without, because it's a 4-player co-op game, you don't want it to be where you're the one that's getting all the kills because you have the legendary weapon and everyone else just feels useless and there's not enough enemies around for everybody to feel like they're a part of the team and that their unique character is needed, right? What's up, Marvel? Yeah, I'm excited for the story mode as well. I think this this little insider has really shown us a really good inside scoop and some things I didn't consider initially, but I'm really excited to dive into the weapons and the skill trees, and I think I'm probably going to make some builds for each of the characters. I'm probably going to have to go all in on this game. I think when this game comes out, it might be the only thing I play on the schedule. Assuming it's like really good too. I mean, you know, there's that. But yeah, February is going to be a wild month for sure. But yeah, getting crits, the jetpack, all that stuff. But yeah, kind of what I was on about the weapons. Yeah, you definitely want them to feel unique, special, and powerful. without being overpowered, but also you want those perks to be meaningful, and you want it to be simple enough that the average player that's not really going to dive into gear and perks and all that to be able to understand what's going on. And then for the deep dive kind of people like me that like to, know about all the perks and do all the math and figure out, okay, how much damage am I actually dealing? And, if I'm coming up with a set of skills across everything on my character, as far as what skills I have equipped on my character as I'm leveling up through the skill tree. Because, it's very much an RPG, right? We're role-playing these various characters. So going through that, and then also looking at my weapons and seeing, okay, does the perks that I have on this weapon correspond with what I'm doing in the skill tree, or is it counterintuitive? Is my skill tree built more for like precision, critical, headshot, sniping type stuff, and then I'm only using, shotguns and assault rifles? It's like, okay, well, I need to make some changes there. Or maybe on my sniper, I have like some perk like hip firing does more damage. Like, you want things that are consistent. And I've seen this before with other games where there will be like sniper rifles that want you to hip fire, and then your skill tree will just say like, oh, you get more points if you do critical headshots. And it's like, well, if you allowed me to zoom in, I would be able to do that. But because you want me to get hip shots because of the perk that dropped on the weapon, it's counterintuitive to the build. So there needs to be a whole lot of synergy there. And that's why there's so few live service games that last long term, and few live service games that have weapon synergy that is consistent with the characters, consistent with your powers. Very, very important features. I haven't seen anything about Aquaman, no. I feel like they're going with a very streamlined Justice League here. Like, we see Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, Green Lantern, The Flash, right? So we haven't seen like Green Arrow or Aquaman or, just other characters that might rotate in and out of the Justice League or, involved in certain incarnations. There might be surprises left for us. We'll have to see on that. But this is interesting. This is something I did not see, was that Gizmo here was going to be allowing us to airdrop vehicles in. And then it looks like maybe one of us drives and one of us shoots, maybe. I'm not... yeah, I guess... Yeah, because it looks like two of us jumped out there. So it looks like maybe two people can jump in. That could be really fun. That was not something I was expecting. And I definitely wasn't expecting all these different weapon vendors. You got Penguin, you got Toy Man. So Penguin's obviously, kind of your weapons dealer, where Toy Man is... allowing you to enhance your weapons, and Ivy is allowing you to apply those different elemental damage types. So, if they're having, like, re-rolling of perks, I think they're really expecting people to do that deep dive into their weaponry and try to get that ideal roll that they're looking for. So, I don't know. I think with this game, I had kept my expectations kind of low and in check, but I'm definitely, the more that they show, I really start to realize that they're doing something very different. So number one, you need to kind of like with Gotham Knights, as I realized as they showed more stuff, I was like, oh, they're doing something different. This is not copy pasta Batman Arkham games. It's very much the same thing here. Rocksteady is probably like, hey, we want to do something new. We want to take what we did that was really excellent. We're really good at single player, narrative storylines and incredible gameplay, but they wanted to take that from melee to allow for ranged combat, and then to also take that powerful single player experience and allow it to be adapted for 4-player co-op, which I think is very difficult because, you got short attention spans, you got people running in different directions, You know, someone will be running towards the objective while maybe someone else is running around looking for collectibles. So, I mean, how do you manage all these various things and gameplay styles, and how do you make it to where the cutscenes naturally fit in without people being impatient and be like, no, I want to get back to shooting, you know, get me back in the game. You know, how do you make it a compelling experience where everybody can enjoy the richness of the story? So, I mean, I think it's a tough call. It's very difficult. And I think the hardest part will probably be the discovering of the lore, you know, listening to like lore tapes or reading various things while your friends are running about blasting everything and leveling up and getting higher up than you while you're like, you know, trying to browse through lore and all that. So I don't know. We might have to figure out how all that's going to work, because I like to do a very slow and steady and just kind of analyze everything and read the tutorials and, you know, definitely not miss out on any lore on that first playthrough. And then, you know, if there's more to be done, just sort of go from there. But yeah, also the ability in single player to just like switch the characters, I think that's going to be really fun. Because you're going to have your very own Harley Quinn kitted out the way you want her to be. Very own Captain Boomerang, your very own Deadshot, and your very own King Shark. And whatever outfits you put on them, whatever weapons you give them, whatever you do with their skill trees when you're not playing as them, they'll be utilizing all that stuff in the background. And then, of course, if you're in single player, you just switch to that character and you start doing your thing. Which could be really fun. I know that was a feature that people wanted on Avengers and Gotham Knights, would be like during the mission to switch, but I thought that's kind of counterintuitive to what the games are. But it's kind of unique that Rocksteady is actually able to pull it off, and, you know, seemed to make sense. And I wonder if that will allow us, if you have 2 or 3 players, would someone be allowed to switch characters during the game there, or not really? You'd just be slotted in. But yeah, definitely interesting. I'm digging it. I'm not crazy about Ivy, though. I really have to say, not crazy about that. I'm not crazy that they brought her back as a little kid. I mean, and it just, I don't like the look or the art style or anything happening there. It would have been really, like, big and surprising if it really was her. And you just kind of, not necessarily pick up where you left off, but, you know, maybe you do have, you know, it's this amnesia trope coming in. It's like, I don't remember who I was. And so I don't know. I feel like it's going down a different angle that's less interesting. It would have been more interesting if they were introducing her in that way. But I couldn't see her being playable because I just don't see Ivy running around using guns. So that's why I think it's very tricky when we're talking here about, like, what characters could they add. And me and Jay have gone back and forth on this. We have our theories, right, of, like, different villains. But we sort of have to picture that they're using guns, because guns are so centric in this game. Like, I mean, like, you could picture Peacemaker pretty easily, like Rick Flag. I mean, maybe Killer Croc. Yeah, like, I just don't see Ivy. Like, if they bring Ivy in, it's like they would have to invent, like, a ranged... Yeah, she'd have, like, plant weapons, essentially. So she wouldn't be buying weapons from anyone. She would just utilize her innate abilities to sort of fire projectiles, and, you know, she would have AoE attacks where plants come out of the ground and deal poison damage or something. I mean, it could work, right? But I feel like with the way they built it, everybody has their own certain type of weapons that they use. So I don't know. It could be interesting. But yeah, definitely a lot of villains to choose from. Like, we were even talking about, like, what if Lex Luthor is, you know, throughout the campaign, he's someone that we interact with, but then, you know, maybe post-game he becomes a playable character. It'd be really fun to have him in his mech suit and maybe give him abilities that make him different from Deadshot, you know, not just another guy with a jetpack and a assault rifle or whatever, you know, maybe he has specific tech that he could use. I think that would be really compelling and fun to play as him. But yeah, you could always expand the Suicide Squad in whatever way you see fit, and there's been a lot of characters throughout the comics, throughout the movies and stuff like that that have drifted in and out of the squad, so definitely keen to know what everybody's thoughts are on that. Like, who could you see joining the squad, and who do you think you'd like to see the most? Yeah, this affliction system is really interesting. So yeah, there's obviously like shock and poison and flame and ice, so there's obviously like a Mr. Freeze thing happening here. But yeah, interesting that when you're doing the blaze, you don't get health back. When you do the freeze, they're resistant to melee damage and don't drop ammo. So, I mean, there's like a cost to using these afflictions. It's like, yeah, you'll deal a lot of damage and you'll have like an area of effect of whatever it may be. But it will come at a cost of like, oh man, I really needed shields. I shouldn't have burned up all the enemies, or maybe your teammates will you also have to coordinate that with your teammates and be like, well, if your teammate is burning everybody up on the field and that's not dropping any health, then yeah, you're going to get downed and it's going to be your teammate's fault, right? Because you weren't playing as a synergized unit here. So, I don't know. I'm trying to analyze like all the potential pitfalls as well as all the good things that could come from this. But I'm actually really excited. I think the narrative is going to be that Rocksteady vibe that we're used to. You know, they've obviously created some of the best Batman and DC games like ever made. So I mean, it's exciting to see how they follow up, but this is also in a direction that we didn't expect them to go. I think we all wanted a Justice League game to or at least a Superman game to sort of follow up the Batman thing. Also, the airwalk here that Deadshot does, absolutely insane. I love it. Right here, right after this. That's so cool. Yeah, their takedowns are going to be really fun, and it's really cool. Yeah, and of course your abilities like that, you know, allowing you to do these special heroic things. And I wonder if they'll have team takedowns, because I know Avengers had that as a way to sort of interact between multiple characters and be able to take down, you know, maybe a bigger enemy as a unit and deal a certain amount of damage. Yeah, they definitely have their work cut out for them, but the more I see, the more convinced I am. So, I like it. That's the squad. So they did say here at the end, and I thought that was really interesting, that they were like additional characters and maybe even additional places. I think they said like, let me see, more hours in cinematic.
We leave the setting of our story open enough that for post-launch content, players will be excited to come back and find out what we're going to do next.
I like
you,
that.
Want to talk about it?
Know what, Quinn? I do.
I don't think players are ready
There's some
for the
potential
playable
outfits,
characters they're going to get, or even the places they're going to get to take them.
This game is much bigger
See, what
than
do they mean?
New playable characters.
New playable characters and places?
I don't think
Are they
players are ready
potentially
for new playable characters they're going to get.
Are they potentially saying that we might someday go beyond Metropolis? Will there be, you know, an expansion or something that takes us to Gotham City or, you know, somewhere else entirely?
Even the places they're going to get to take them.
This game is much bigger than the world of the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, and her saying that seems to be a very important line there. Is that it's not just about these 4 characters as we assumed, and it's not necessarily just about them fighting the Justice League. I think it's gonna probably blow up and get a little bigger than that. There might be additional characters that will show up either throughout the story or maybe post-game. You know, other heroes might pop in and say like, whoa, what are you guys doing here?
Rocksteady will continue to build on the story.
We're delivering you a full game.
Also, Deborah Wilson killing it with all the roles lately.
Free to our players, and we really want to engage with our community.
See, you got the Aquaman outfit there, so they're definitely acknowledging that he's out
wow, there. This was a hell of a ride.
And I would love to see him.
Let's play again.
Awesome to see that he exists in this world. Yeah, so February 2nd, 2024. Until then, we'll keep covering these developer diaries that they're doing here. This was Suicide Squad Insider Episode 2, Meet the Support Squad. Definitely hit the like button on this video if you enjoyed the deep dive. Don't forget to ring the notification bell, subscribe, all that good stuff. And we will see you on the next one. Take care.